Rose, I'm sorry I missed you yesterday.
What do you mean?
Well, I thought we were gonna talk and then life just got too,
Oh, that's okay.
all right, good. How's everything?
Good. We had a couple of people out this morning, so we were scrambling a little bit, but now I can have my coffee and everything is good. That's what
Uh,
we have to remember, right? Everything works out. Somehow everything works out.
It's funny that you should say that. I totally agree.
Yeah,
And then you have a cup of coffee and everything is even
yeah,
better than good.
yeah.
Good. Hi there, Jenny Rousseau. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Bill?
So glad to see you. This is
I
awesome.
know. I'm so excited. I was able to attend one finally.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good. That's good. We have some. Did you guys look at the thing I sent out?
The water
Yes.
safety
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I hope we get more people from last week on. We actually still have a little bit of, we'll start at like 3 after, not 5 after, but 3 after.
You're in charge, Bill, whatever you want.
Rose, don't say that.
I decided today I was swimming masters and I was leading the lane and I got to the wall and then, I thought I was leaving on the interval. And when we ended the next set, somebody goes, you went 30 seconds early. And I said, I don't think I went 30 seconds early. Anyways, there were two clocks on both sides of the pool. One was different than the other one. One was 30 and the other one was 60. So anyways, the bottom line is the lane mate said, Rose, you're right. And I go, you know what? I need to get a shirt that says, you're right with hash marks, for every time somebody says I'm right. Because I take great joy in going,
Just go like
okay,
this.
yeah, I'll accept that I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. But let's get going.
I just got hold on a second.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
I'm Rufina from Swift or Let's Swim Bahamas.
Rufina, it's great to see. I'm so glad that you're on here.
I am too. I'm looking forward to learn a lot.
We're hoping that happens. You know something? I just saw a guy last night who used to work with Nancy and Andy as a Swim America instructor, and he's got kids up here in Western. I'm like, what are you doing in Western Massachusetts? And he's going to get on my master's team, and like he had such wonderful things to say about what you guys do down in the Bahamas.
Oh, thanks. We appreciate that.
All right.
All right.
Two more minutes here, and then we'll get this going.
Bill, are there any Swim America programs in Hawaii?
I don't know about, I don't think so. There, we are I don't think so. We are in the process of pulling all that stuff together with the new website. So but I don't think we do. All right, let's get this going. So, if you guys could turn your cameras on, if that would be possible, that would be awesome. Even if you're eating, it doesn't really matter to us. But it's always nice to see who's here. It just makes it a little bit easier. So good. So welcome, and I hope everybody's doing great. So last program directors meeting, we had I thought, we had like 9 people on the meeting, and it was just really wonderful. Some of the information that we got, and one of the things that we came out as we are going to upgrade our website. That's happening as we speak right now. One of the things I would like to get from you, all of you, and I'm going to send a request out to you, but if you have any high quality pictures of kids in Swim America garb, kids next to Swim America pictures, kids banging your gong or your bell or whatever, I need Swim America orientated pictures, that so that we're going to have the website scrolls through pictures once you get on it. So I'm going to need like 4 to 6 like really good pictures. So if you guys have great pictures, I would love to see that. You know, it does, whatever you think is a great picture, like a whole crowd of kids with their certificates, or you know, whatever you think, so that we can put that, we can start scrolling through. And if you don't get on the first group, then we'll put you on, you know, we'll keep changing those. Okay, does that sound good for everybody? So look through your pictures, please send them to me, because the website is happening pretty fast. So I'd like to get those pictures to people. If you could send those to me today, that would be awesome. That'd be great. First thing, everybody good with that? Great. So last Wednesday, I was driving home from our weekly open water swim that I do with my master swimmers, and I get a telephone call from a woman named Vivian Jacobson. Now, if any of you guys have been doing this program for a while, Vivian Jacobson is one of the 10 people who originally put together the Swim America program. And she is very, very interested in, she really wanted to know where we're at, how we're doing, how things are going. It was just to hear, you know, how that whole process went with how this program came about was just, it was wonderful. But from that conversation, and I've already talked to Jen about this a little bit, at the World Clinic, we might have a 35-year anniversary celebration for Swim America, and in Orlando. I'm trying to get as many of the people who were in that original 10 group, and I think there's about 8 people who are still with us, and other folks that were involved with that, to come and to just kind of share the experience, so that we can all like celebrate what we all do together, you know? So once again, I'm going to say, please, if you haven't thought about it yet, try to come out to the World Clinic, because I really think that it's going to be a great experience, especially for, I'm trying to make it a great experience for swim instructors and Swim America specific program directors. Okay. How's that sound? So good? Does anybody have a question about that, or comment or anything? Good. All right. So let's get to the meat of the subject here. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Let me minimize this, and I'm going to share my screen with you. And let's look at what I sent to you. Great. You know, it's really great when Zoom works, you know? Okay. So this is based on the conversation that we had last week. Well, last meeting. And that conversation went that although we create great swimmers very quickly, we don't emphasize safety enough in this program, or it's not out there as much as it should be. Okay. And so that the conversation drifted towards what could we do, and what kind of a progression could we have that emphasize the rollover, but also give other skills so that the kids could be safer in and around the water. So this is all based on the conversations that we had, and it's something that I think, you know, I feel comfortable adding this into or something like this into our manual. So we'll just go through it, you know. And here's the thing with this: please don't hold back at all. And like, I want to hear exactly what you think about this and what your feelings are about this. It would be really helpful to this conversation. Okay? How does that sound for everybody? Good? Good. All right, good. So let's start off with Bob's. You know, a lot of us already, so what I did is the manual already has in number 4 there, introduce rollover. I put that in italics. So we already put that was, you know, that was there. But
Bill, are you sharing your screen?
yeah,
Oh, can everybody else see it?
can you got, really? Okay, hold on a second.
I could share my screen if you want. I think I
Oh,
have.
no, here it is. I'm sorry. Good. I didn't go through the final steps.
There you go.
Is that good? Sorry about that.
Guys, we got to keep Bill on his toes.
Never let me say that everything's great when the Zoom is working great, because it wasn't working great, I guess. All right, so so you can see there in number 4, it says introduce rollover. You know, that's what we did have, you know, in italics there. What I'm adding, what I think I'm, you know, from the flavor of the conversation last meeting, I don't think it's a bad idea to add like just a water safety section in the end as a highlight, because that is, we want people to focus on that, you know. And I'm seeing you nod your head, Nicolette. You had a lot of input in that. So you know, one of the things we do with the parent infant class, you know, go to the wall is where it's safe. You know, I think it's really important that we reinforce with the kids, you know, from the beginning, you want to go to the wall and not a person. Somebody said that last meeting. You know, I think that, you know, what I did with each one of these is put in quotations what we want to say to the kids. That kind of frames that water safety skill, or that water safety focus. So thoughts? What do you guys think about that? Does that seem to make sense? You know, grab the wall, not a person. Entry and exit from a sitting position on the wall, and then instructor assisted rollover. That's just like starting to get the kids thinking about their safety stuff.
I have a question. The part where it says not a person, Nicolette, do you guys do that? Do you say those words?
Sorry, we're working on it. Like, since we had this meeting last time, we've had a couple staff meetings talking about that, and I've always done it, but when I teach my lessons, but like, I've been trying to get my staff more and more since I took over as director, like reinforcing that, you know, you don't want to grab a person. The wall is where you always want to go.
I would like to stay on the positive part and just say grab the wall. Because if you say grab the wall, not a person, sometimes kids, like if you say elbows high and don't drag they just focus on the don't instead of the do. So I
like that.
I like the whole thing, except I would just change, and this is just my opinion. I'd love to hear from everyone else, but if I say to a small child, grab the wall, they can comprehend that. But now you add a second thing, and now they're, you know, grab a wall, not a person. Should I grab the person, but not the wall? If you just say, grab the wall, grab the wall, grab the wall.
Yeah, and I agree with that too, because, you know, in child psychology, like you say the not, they don't hear the not.
Right.
But, you know, I always, you know, if you have 4 kids sitting on the wall or 3 kids sitting on the wall, they're going to grab their legs and things like that. So my reminder to my instructors is they cannot be grabbing the kids' legs. They need to be grabbing the wall. So like, it was just my reminder to my instructors, like they need to be grabbing the wall, not the legs. So I don't really say that not the person to my kids. I say that more to my instructors.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So let me see thumbs up. Do we get rid of the negative? Do we get rid of the negative? Thumbs up for that?
Yes.
Does anybody want to keep the negative? Does anybody think it's important to have that person in there? No? All right. Good. It's out. How's that? Better? Okay. So, and I really liked the idea of the entry and exit from a sitting position on the wall. You know, I'll give more detail in, you know, this is just, you know, the lineup here, but I can give more detail as to what each one of those things is going to be. But you know, there's like a sliding into the water, and then getting back to the wall. Just to really start reinforcing, you want to get to the wall if you're nervous. And then instructor assisted rollover, you know, you can just go from the front over to the back, just flip them right over. Okay, how does that sound for everybody? Pretty good?
Hey, Bill, I have a question for you. What
Yeah,
do you
man.
mean by exiting in a seated position? Like, are you saying, are you talking about like when you said that, what I think of is when I like back out of the water, like I lift myself out of the water and my back comes against the wall, or are you just saying get out of the pool safely?
Okay, so here, how about this? You're right about that. Then that doesn't look good. For seated position.
Bill, I
Um,
always tell my kids elbow, elbow, knee, knee when they climb out of the pool.
Yeah, that's essentially what we use as
You
well.
do that too, Meg? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then what we use for sliding into the pool, we don't use the word slide, because if you use the word slide, they're not going to hold
Safe.
on to the wall. We use the word safety slide. This
Yes.
might be a YMCA thing. I don't know. I got it from one of my coaches. Absolutely love it. They sit on the wall and then they put one hand beside them, the
Yep.
other hand on top of them, and then they
Yep.
twist into the water. We call that the safety slide. And so like all my instructors know safety slide into the pool, because as soon as they say the word slide, it's a slide and they're not going to hold on to the wall.
so
But
you would like me to say safety slide into the water.
essentially, I would say essentially the point to this is getting in and out of the pool safely. I think
Yep.
it can be as simple as that.
That's right. So what's the best verbiage to use for that? Safety slide into the water?
That's what we use. I don't know. You could just use it as simple as getting in and out of the pool safely, and like kind of describe how we like leave it up to the program directors to figure that out, what that would mean, what they want to use for that. Or
Or I could put more detail in the
Yes.
explanation in the bottom. How's that?
Yeah.
Great.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So in that detail, I would say like get in holding onto the wall.
Is that better? Getting
Yeah,
out
then
or
it
safety?
then it allows each program to sort of define what that safely means,
Yes,
depending on what kind of wall entry they have.
I love that. That's great. Is that good for everybody? Good. Okay, so then we get into our floats and glides in station 2. Roll over, get a breath. Roll over to get a breath, shout for help, and see where the wall is. You know what I say with my kids is you only call for help if you really need it. So we always shout for pizza because everybody likes pizza, right? So like, do you guys actually have the kids call for help? We don't want the kids to do, yeah. All right. So does that make sense? Roll over to get a breath, shout for help, and see where the wall is. Okay, the 3 reasons why you do a rollover. Is that good for everybody?
I have a question. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Do you actually have them pick up their head and look for the wall, even though that will get them out of the float position, the like good float position?
No, because you can look side to side. You don't have to lift your head up out of the water
Okay.
to see where you are. You know, you can still look side to side. That's what I do with my kids. Keep your head
Okay.
back and look side to side.
Awesome.
All right.
Mhm.
Does that make sense to everybody? Rufiner, is that good for you? Excellent. Okay. So then, you know, by this time, you know, if the kids are doing a front glide and a back glide, they should be able to go front glide, pull through and roll onto their back. You know, so we're starting to do the rollover independently. So that's once again, though, that's a skill to be learned. That's not an advancement skill, all right, or advancement goal. Is everybody all right with that? You know, I do kind of think we keep these in the the skills to be learned area. You know, is that good?
Can you, again, the negative part, instead of don't panic, can you put remain calm?
Oh, yes, that you already got ahead of me there, Rose.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about jumping in, rolling over already.
You know, maybe I was having a little bit of the past few days have been a little negative for me, so I'm sorry about that.
We're here to help, Bill.
Okay, good. And then an instructor assisted jump, holding on to the kid's hands, jumping in, however you guys do that. Jump to the instructor, whatever feels comfortable for you. Good. All right, station 3. If you fall in, get to the surface, remain calm. All right, jump in and push off the bottom. Continue rollover practice. Does that sound good to everybody? Yes? Great. All right, this is easy. All right, and good. And then, so for our station 4, go to the wall. If you can't reach it, roll over. Okay. Go to the wall, and if you can't reach it, roll over. So this is jump in, come to the surface, roll over, scream for help, but I put help in quotation marks there because we want the kids to scream something, but you know, whatever's, I mean, everybody in my program, I have like master swimmers who, if I say scream for help, they say pizza. So it's like, you know, it's part of the thing that we do here. So whatever you guys do for scream and help, that's up to you. All right. Scream for help and swim to the wall. Does that make sense? Does that what do you think, Rose?
I'm just looking at the consistency with your words. Are we yelling or screaming? Here in 2 we're shouting, and
Yeah.
by 4 we're screaming. So just remaining consistent with the lingo, I think
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
So instead of scream for help, shout for help.
I love that. Good. Shout for help, swim to the wall. So what does that make sense to everybody? Is we're building on the progression here from grabbing for the wall to jumping in to rolling over and then getting to the wall. And finally, and this is what a few of you were saying last time, if you see something, shout something, you know, and that's just a practice, you know, jump in, get back to the wall without goggles, and throw a kickboard or a noodle to an instructor in distress. Nicolette?
Why?
I thought we talked about all of these safety things being without goggles.
They could be. That could definitely be.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought we talked about that, like all of them being without goggles. So if the kids fell in, they would know how to do all of these without goggles on. I could be wrong.
Do we all agree with that?
You can also start by doing it with goggles on. And once they can do it correctly, then try without the goggles. But I know my kids wouldn't do it without goggles on for first.
Yeah, I see.
I was
I
gonna
see
say
a
the
little
same
bit of a
thing. We
progression.
try it and then switch.
We do 2 jump ins. The first one is with goggles. The second one is without. And it's more scary even in station 1 without the goggles. But again, they're going down a slide at Disneyland and they land in the water and they freak out because they can't see. Well, if we practice that early on, then we're more likely to have them not panic, remain calm when their goggles get kicked up. So I like what Nicolette's saying. I think that half and half, like practice without goggles is important.
I think that makes a lot of sense. You know, it's like, but I would say that, you know, based on, you know, just some of the trouble that you have getting goggles onto the kids, you know, you do that at the end of your class. You do that. That's the last thing you like. You
Right.
do that practice with the goggles so they feel comfortable. Then explain to the kids, this is going to happen. If you fall into the water, you might not have your goggles on, and let them practice that one last time, and then everybody out of the water, and that's the end of the class. You know, that makes a lot of sense to me. Is that good for you, Nicolette? Can we do it like that? All right, that's good. So I will say,
I think that, I don't know who iPad is, but that person said that we have the swimmers jump onto the black line instead of the coach. I think that's super important. It doesn't need to be in the actual stations, but as a super big reminder, we always say 10 toes on the edge, because we've seen people just slip and bang their shins or, you know, twist when they're going to jump in. So I like that reminder to jump to the black line, or we just splash and we say, jump to the splashes so they don't jump to me and jump on me. So just a teaching reminder.
so, you know, maybe we could do it like this. Maybe you guys could send me some, like read through this again, and then like send me some of the information that you think should be input into the manual with more description, you know, for the more description area, you know. But I
Can I
do
ask
think,
a question really fast? Does everybody do jump-ins? Some
Yes.
form? Yeah.
Yes.
And does everyone do 2 of them or just 1? 2. So if everyone does 2, the first one with goggles and the second one without goggles will address the, you know, sort of unpredictable water that might kick off their goggles so they don't freak out.
yes.
So incorporating that into the, you know, jump 1, jump 2, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, okay, I like that. And you know, it's like I can even just preface the whole thing by saying any practices, the first try is with goggles so that the kids can practice feeling comfortable and focus on the skill at hand. And then the second try at that is going to be without goggles, with the explanation that if you do fall in the water, if you're by the lake or by the dock or wherever, that's you're gonna be experiencing that without goggles on. So this is why we do this. You know, I know that my moms and dads are gonna, you know, they love when we do any kind of safety demonstrations or routines. They love this stuff.
Yep.
So I think if we incorporate this into the program itself and make this part of every class, and I mean, this is like, you know, for a whole class, this is going to take less than 2 or 3 minutes, you know, just going right down the line, you know, so you can do this pretty quickly with the kids. So is everybody pretty good with this? Is that, so if you could send me some more information on what you think should be in detail in there, that would be helpful. And then, you know, this would be more of a communal project.
I would like to see, and I don't know if you talked about this, I would love to see at some point the advancement, an advancement goal to be actually a jump in, roll over and float, yell for help, successful, no assist, as in there somewhere. I love that we're practicing, but at some point we need to have that as an advancement goal.
What level, Rose? I was thinking 3, but what were you thinking?
Station 3?
You think so? Like,
I would say it fits better in 4 because at that point they're learning, because like I don't know, but I know we teach rollovers in level 2. It's actually one of our pass requirements because we had someone in level 3 freak out on their stomach when they were kicking and they didn't know how to get over. So like we require them to pass in level 3 and level 2. So like jump in, float, and then flip. Like I don't know. I go 3 or 4, but I would say 4.
I like 4. I just,
We
I would
require
like,
that in 2 as well. You got to be able to roll over, because we've had the same problems in 3.
okay,
I think level 3. I teach it
Level-
in parent talk classes
Yeah.
too.
same.
so, okay, so level 3.
And
yeah,
that's gonna be a big adjustment possibly for some programs. If you make it an advancement goal in level 3, in station 3, that's gonna be a big adjustment for parents. It's gonna be an adjustment for coaches.
Mhm.
So let's really think about this.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat, you know, as far as teaching it early and using it as a really important skill before they get into level 3, or at least at level 3, because they're in a group that's slightly larger than what they're used to. And for them to have that skill is super important.
Can I interrupt here really quick? Because my feeling for 3 is if they learn how to do that flip, they're using that arm to pull with, and I'm a demonstrator, big time. When they're in level 4, we're starting to add those arm pulls a lot. So they should already know how to do that arm pull to flip and when they go to take their breath. So I really feel 3 is the important number.
but we're working, that's a good point, Jen. But, you know, station 4, we are, you know, one of the skill to learn is the rollover. That was the traditional
Yeah.
place where you did do the rollover. So, and I agree with what you're saying, Rose, in that it, you know, some of us do it early, but there are plenty of programs out there who wait to do the rollover in station 4, because that's where it is. So, and I think that if we did a jump in the water, float, roll on your back, and then get to the wall in station 3, that would add, that's a pretty major component to add in there. It's whereas with station 4, it's not that big, it's not as big a change. It's kind of, it's a little, to me, it's like you're combining, it's just a natural progression where what we've been learning, you know?
I think the important thing to remember too is that we come from the American Swim Coaches Association. And so really we'd like to see these children on a team. And we know that once they get onto a team, the numbers are bigger in their groups. And for them to have that skill to be able to roll over and float comfortably and use that as an advancement goal, that's another, you know, kind of feather in our hat to say, okay, it sounds like you might be ready for team, you know, as a younger, like we have mini darts or mini monsters or whatever. And that might be a good criteria to say, yeah, this person is safer. It's not 100%, but they are safer. They know how to get on their back if they're in a 25-yard pool swimming.
Yeah. So do we vote?
Okay, I'm still a little confused. Are we just talking about the rollover and float as an advancement, not the getting back to the wall right now, right? Or
Well, I
does it
think-
include the getting back to the wall?
I think we're trying to get back to the wall too. Roll
Back
up,
to the wall too.
jump in, come to the surface, float,
Rollover.
roll over, and then get back to the wall, whether that's kicking on your back or rolling back over and swimming to the wall. All right. So I'm of the mind of station 4. Do
I have
you,
a question real quick.
yeah,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but if we're really working on changing the old lessons where it was station 4 before, and now we're starting it at station 2. They're learning how to float and glide, and they pretty much have to know how to float because they're gliding in level station 2. Wouldn't one of the advancements just be to jump in, roll over, float, and yell for help?
Hmm.
Because that's what we normally do. That's like one of our, not our advancement, but that's what we try to have them be able to do before they go on. Because if they start kicking and you have bigger groups in level 3, which we do, I don't know if everybody else does, but we have one extra person in level 3. We want to make sure that if they fall off the platform into the deeper water, that they can roll over and float before the instructor can get to them if they were working on other kicks with kids. So that's just my 2 cents going in there.
that's- So, you know, I think what's coming out here is that, you know, based on the needs of each of your communities, you guys have, many of you have adjusted your programs accordingly, which I think is super important. And I think that speaks to the flexibility of Swim America in general. So I think we need to keep in mind, you know, this is a framework that we want to guide people through. But we also, and what I say to new program directors, that you know, you can adjust this within a realm to fit what you need and what you feel comfortable with. So you know, I was just saying that to somebody the other day. You know, it's like we as instructors, you know, people might do stuff totally different than what you expect them to do, but they're going to do it. They're going to have a great outcome because that's what they believe in, you know. And I think that some of us are doing this with this program, and I think that's okay. But I think as a general construct, I think it makes the most sense to put the jump in, come to the surf. It's a real combination of all the skills in station 4, because you jump in, come to the surface, you float on your belly, you roll over, which is right there. You might have to do a few strokes on either your back or on your front. And it just combines everything that's already in station 4. So it makes it easier for people to understand. But that being said, if you want kids to get safer faster, then you can do that. Jen, if you want to put that in station 3, your kids are benefiting from that. If you guys want to put that somewhere in station 2, Barb, that's good too, you know. But as long as we're sticking with a pretty logical progression, I think that makes it important. That's important. Does that sound good? Rose, what do you think? Is that
I would be okay with that, because I think it's easier to do it earlier if we want to and have that flexibility. But the ideal, you know, by 4, you should be able to do that pretty strongly, you know, with confidence and so much consistency.
okay? Correct this if you. How's that? Does that sound good? Okay. That's just a formatted. There you go. All right. Does that sound good? Jump in, get to the surface, roll over, call for help, swim to the wall. You don't even have to raise your thumbs. Just let me see nodding heads. Does anybody disagree? Okay, that's good. I like that. That's, you know, that's kind of a big thing to add an advancement goal. Hold on. Shout for help.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, now they're dialing 911, so.
Rose, that's great. Okay, good. See,
The only-
Rose, look, I read your mind. That was good. All right, so that's cool. So
Keeping on your toes.
The only
So-
thing I say about Shout for Help is actually it did save one of my swimmers once.
oh yeah.
Is that she fell off a pier and she was reaching for her shoe, fell off a pier, and her mom heard her shouting for help and she actually got to her. So she rolled over, shouted for help. So I think as long as you tell the parents that are watching, okay, right now you'll be hearing them shout for help. They are okay. It's fine. This is an exercise we're doing for safety. All the parents absolutely love it. So I think shouting for help is absolutely amazing.
And as you train your coaches, I have seen them get numb to this and rush through it. And the child rolls over and they go hap, 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 and then they push them to the wall to get the next child in. Really encourage them not to rush through the jump ins. Sometimes we say, okay, what's your favorite place on earth? You know, and of course, a lot of people say Disneyland, but our kids say Swim America, you know, and so, so just getting them in the habit of being comfortable on their back and maybe kind of giving them some waves, you know, some unpredictable water as they get really stronger, but not to rush through those jump ins.
Yeah. Okay, can you, everything you're saying, please send that to me? Just like, if you could just like shoot some of that to me in an email, or, you know, and I can incorporate that within the manual, and I'll just have a redo on the manual. I've been wanting to redo the manual in a number of different ways, but I definitely will start with this. So anything that you feel should go in as an explanation to these water safety discussions that will expand these ideas for our other program directors, to give them good guidance. That would be really, really great. It would be really helpful. Okay, that's good. All right. Does anybody have anything else to say about this? Or we all, you know, it's like, we haven't really added a new advancement goal in like a long time, like maybe since 1989, I think. So, you know, this is a big thing. So I think what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to send this out to all our program directors, which I think we have about 130 now. And I'm going to just say, this is what we're thinking. This is what we came up in our meeting, you know, this month. Can you know, let's vote on this. You know, I think we should have a vote. I'll send out a Survey Monkey. I'll send a Survey Monkey about this. How does that sound? Okay.
Right.
Right. Thank you, Brent.
Brent
Okay.
is demonstrating seesaw body movement. That's in station 3, and I don't even know what that is. Does anybody else use it?
It's body dolphin.
Oh, it's a body dolphin.
Body dolphin is, so I would say it's the same thing. Body dolphin.
Wait a minute. Let's not change anything else just yet. I mean, it's like, you know, this is the basis. I mean, we did add in the rollover practice in the skills to be learned in station 1 and station 2 and station 3, based on conversations we had last year. So, you know, every year we're kind of tweaking this a little bit, and I'm really comfortable and excited about adding this water safety element to this. I think it's really great, and I would love to see us do that. I'm gonna put all of this in. I'm excited to promote this with my families, and I think that there's gonna be a lot of excitement about it. So I think it's gonna be
I'm not asking to change seesaw. I just didn't know what it was. So
well, as one of our,
thanks, Brent. Hey, Nicolette brought up a really good point. She said that we're going to need new certificates if we vote yes on this.
We will. And the certificates, I don't know about you guys, but I think the certificates need a redo anyhow. Yeah,
My coaches have been telling me that for years.
I can only do one thing at a time. We're doing the website, and you know, we're gonna clean up everything else after that. But I can
And-
promise you that the certificates by December 2024 will probably be a little different. You know,
Good job on the Facebook posts.
it's good.
Yeah, I like those. Those are good.
Yeah, we're trying, you know, it's like, I appreciate, look at, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna talk to the board on June the 11th. And I am putting in a proposal for a full-time person, or at least a dedicated part-time person in the office for Swim America. It's really, we really need that badly. And I might reach out to all of you just to I don't know if I want you to inundate Jen with that need, but you know, it's like I am trying to reinvigorate the dedication of American Swim Coaches Association to Swim America. I'm gonna be doing some fundraising here with my masters team, because some of those guys are capable of helping out, and I'm gonna be trying to do stuff like that to try to get some seed money. So I just want you to know, and there might be a time when we're all gonna have to step up and say, look, this is important to us. This is an important element of our program. And we need the support from the American Swim Coaches Association, you know? Does that sound good to everybody?
Mhm.
All right. So that's good. Good. So that's 45 minutes. Does anybody have anything in particular that they have concerns about, questions about, that you would like to raise with your fellow program directors? And maybe get other people's input, like how programs going, problems, any kind of thing that other people could help you with.
I'm gonna just put a shameless plug in for our panel at the World Clinic. From my part of it, I'm gonna be talking about the business aspect and sort of what the industry standard says in terms of labor costs and facility costs and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't know how many of you are planning on going to the World Clinic, but again, like Bill said, I think it's a good way to really show the relevance that Swim America brings to teams, but also just in terms of water safety from a more safety standpoint. So I'm hoping that you guys plan to do it. Is World Clinic Wednesday through Friday?
Yes, yeah, and
I
that
think the
that
Swim
Wednesday,
America is Wednesday, right?
yes, yep, and that might be the day that we actually have the surviving 10 people who created Swim America come and have a discussion. I also talked to Karen
That's
King,
cool.
who Karen King is going to be there. Vivian
Awesome.
Jacobson has already said she's going to be there. I talked to Guy Edson today, and Guy
Aw.
Edson is possibly interested in coming. So
That's awesome.
so I know. Here's the thing. It's like, for many years, Swim America has been kind of like on life support, especially in the realm of the ASCA workings. And my intention is to bring it out of life support and make it an impactful program within the swim lesson industry. But I'm gonna need to have you guys, you know, really vocal about its importance. You know, I'm also gonna have to start, one of the things to look out for is, once we have the website, the most vibrant part of the website is probably going to be the locator map. Okay, so that when you push on the pin of your program, that's going to go directly to your website. Okay, it's gonna go directly to your website. So the thing that we're gonna need is that everybody brands with Swim America, that we all know that you're a Swim America program. You know, there's gonna be some just like some real basic branding stuff that we're gonna really hopefully get from you guys. So that's like one of the first steps with bringing everything into line, you know, and so I'm excited about that because it's going to bring some consistency to the program and help promote your program within your local community. So so I think that's pretty, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good.
Hey, Bill,
Yeah.
with that, is there still the rule of so many Swim Americas can only be within a certain amount of miles away from each other?
You know, when I first got on, that was a big topic of conversation, and like basically the way I do it now is if somebody wants to do a program in an area that's you know relatively close within, like we used to do like 20 or 50 miles or something like that, I will call up the program that exists and let them know that there's another program that's going to be happening, find out if there's any kind of conflict with that, and try to work it out with everybody. And so far, like the generosity of all of our program directors has been just wonderful. We have a bunch of very magnanimous people who are willing to spread the Swim America thing. I mean, it's like if we have one program in like Tampa, you know, Tampa could handle 10 programs, you know, and that's just off the top of my head, not saying that that's happening or anything, but in a large urban area, most of our urban areas can hold Swim Americas, you know, a few multiple Swim Americas, you know. If you're if you're in the Bahamas, you know, you're going to be, you know, we want one program there, you know, but it's like, I'm trying to take into consideration and be in conversation with people if that happens. So, but that's a great question, but I don't want to limit it. I want people to be able to get to the programs. I don't want parents to call me up and say, I want to do Swim America, but they're always closed because they're always filled up, you know, so why not have two? All right. Anything else? Does anybody else have anything? How about each of us go around and say the one great thing that's happened so far in this session that they have noticed? And I'm going to say this, I have a new site supervisor who's so awesome on deck. Parents are just so excited about him, and he used to be one of my instructors, and now he's a site supervisor, and everybody's excited. That's my one grateful thing. What about the rest of you guys? Give me one thing.
I'll go. At the end of the last session we had, I did a parent feedback form, which some people cringe at, and I welcomed positive and negative responses, and I didn't get one negative response. It was always just positive, positive. They were super excited. I even asked, you know, are you signed up for this next one? If not, why not? And we're now using those as testimonials on our Instagram page. However, I didn't put, if you want to put your name on there, until later. So I have the option, but I'm using them as verified parents, and we're doing it that way, and it's working out really well. So yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else?
Yesterday we did the rollover for adults, and everything went very well. Although before they start like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, but they were able to jump in and roll over. So I thought that's very nice of.
You know,
And
I love working with adults. It is really wonderful. That's great. That's great. Anybody else? Something positive that's happened in the past few days?
So my session started Monday and I have over 500 kids in. And I have pretty much all new staff from last summer, except for 2 people. And the nice thing about Swim America is all my parents are like, it's amazing. Like, they know exactly, what station to teach, and there's no like, oh, well, my kid doesn't know, my teacher doesn't know where they left off. Like, they know what station and they're starting right where they left off last summer. So
That's great.
very nice, very amazing when I have all new staff where we just switched to long course. So it's fun, eventful few days.
It's great. I mean, think about that. 500 kids. What a great number. That is great. That's good. Okay, give me one more, and then we'll finish up. What do you think? Brent?
Okay.
We just started up, excuse me, we just started up on the 15th of May, and this is our 3rd season, and we have seen we run a beginner class, basically kids that are the clingers, that don't want to let go of the instructors, don't want to put their face in the water, all that. We've seen those beginners from the 1st season now entering in level 4 and 5 and so forth, and it's just like crazy, like where they started and how confident they are now and what they can do and what it does for them, the smile on their face. So it's just it's a nice reminder of like, it takes time. It doesn't always happen as fast as we'd like it, but with consistency and the program and sticking to the stations, like it happens. So
That's great. That's great. Well, listen, thank you to all of you. I like to keep this to 1 hour because I know how valuable your time is. Just a reminder, please send me some pictures. Okay, any picture, like really high quality pictures, like that would go. This will be the first round that'll go on the new website. Okay, just happy kids, happy instructors. I'd love you to be able to say, oh, look at that, there's my picture. That's great. There's a picture from my program. Think about coming to the World Clinic. I will redo this document and send it to all of the program directors. Please respond to that. Basically it's a vote, yay or nay. What do you think? Especially Station 4 as an advancement goal. That's going to be a big thing.
When's our next meeting?
Rose, I don't know.
You sent the whole schedule. Of course you know.
I don't have it at the tip of my tongue. We
The
have
schedule I have, it says none in July and August. So
yes, that's right.
none would be like the World Clinic, I think.
Yes. So we're not going to have, because July and August are busy for everybody, and that's what we did last year. We took a little break.
Okay.
And they're busy for me too. So that actually works for me also. But I am always available. You guys have my number. If you want to talk, that's fine. I would love that. And I will keep you posted on how the board meeting goes on the 11th. But things are happening. I'm trying to make things happen, and I feel like I'm getting in contact with the right people, and so I might have to ask you guys for help in the future. So that being said, have an awesome summer. I'll be sending emails to you. So just if you see Bill Meyer, read it, okay? Because all right. Have a great day. All right.
All right. Thanks, Bill.
All right. Take
Okay,
care.
thank you.
Sign up for
Sorry,
the World Clinic.
Nancy and Andy couldn't make it today.